With the NBA returning in just under a month, everybody is wondering how teams will adjust after taking a 3-month break and how certain players are opting out of playing. But today, I'm going to talk about the team that I think benefited the most from the break, and that team is the Portland Trailblazers. But before I get into this video, I would like to ask everybody who enjoys our content and plans to watch more of our videos to please subscribe, as only 6% of our viewers have hit the sub button. Also, if you enjoy this video, please make sure to drop a like, as it helps out our channel tremendously in YouTube's algorithm. But now that I got that out of the way, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about all the injuries that have occurred this season for the Blazers. Going into the season, they were still dealing with the loss of Yusuf Nurkic, who fractured his left leg in March of 2019 against the Brooklyn Nets in an overtime game. That was only the start of the injury train though, as in late October of 2019, Zach Collins dislocated his right shoulder and was put out for the entirety of the season until the hiatus ends. Another big injury was just a month and a half later after Collins, Rodney Hood tore his left Achilles heel. And then later in the season, Damian Lillard and McCollum both got minor injuries that set out Lillard for 6 games and McCollum for just 3. Now let's talk about how the season has gone for the Blazers in terms of performance. Coming off of amazing playoff runs by Damian Lillard and McCollum and a trip to the Western Conference Finals, they have definitely had a disappointing season so far. As of right now, Portland holds a 29-37 record, and they sit in the 9th seed in the Western Conference and are currently 3.5 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies for the 8th playoff spot. Outside of their overall record though, they have had some pretty impressive player performances throughout the year. Let's start with the face of Portland and star point guard Damian Lillard. Lillard has put up career highs in almost every stat this season. He is averaging 29 points per game, grabbing 4 rebounds, and dishing out 7.5 dimes per game. He is also shooting 45% from the field, 39% from 3, and 89% from the charity stripe. If it wasn't for the Blazers' poor record, I can guarantee he'd be top 5 in MVP votes this season. Next we have Hassan Whiteside, and I'll tell you firsthand that I'm a very big Portland Trailblazers fan and a huge Damian Lillard fan, but I cannot stand Hassan Whiteside at all and how overrated he is. I can make a whole video about it. But if we're going off just stats, he's definitely had a solid season. He's averaging 16 points per game and has led the league with 14 rebounds and 3 blocks a game. A lot of people believe he should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, but that's just definitely false. He plays absolutely no defense outside the restricted area and actually hunts for blocks instead of staying on his man. I will even drop a link in the description to another YouTube video that perfectly sums up Whiteside's poor defense. But enough talking about Whiteside, as someone like Carmelo Anthony actually played well this season and should be talked about. Melo was a liability on the defensive side of the ball this year, but he did average just around 16 points per game and grabbed 6 boards while shooting 37% from the 3-point line. McCollum also had a solid season. He struggled to start the year, but has definitely picked up since, especially when Lillard sat out with his groin injury. He averaged just around 22 points per game on solid shooting percentages. Their stars weren't the only good players though, as they have up-and-coming studs in guys like Gary Trent Jr. and Anthony Simons. Now let's talk about how they benefited from the break. On March 14th, the NBA was suspended, but on March 15th, Yusuf Nurkic was supposed to make his return after almost 1 year of being injured. Another big factor is players from other teams sitting out. As of right now, the only Western Conference player outside of Ariza to opt out is Avery Bradley, who is on the Lakers, who will be the Blazers' first round playoff matchup in the first round if they were to get the 8th seed. We're still unsure if players like Dwight Howard will play, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So overall, I think the Blazers will end up benefiting largely from the break and will even end up getting the 8th playoff spot over Memphis. But that's all I have for you today in this video, and before I end the video, I would like to thank everybody for supporting the channel recently, since my video on Miami Heat the other day has done really well and it's almost at 1,000 views. We're also gaining subscribers at a really good rate. If you like this video, it'd be much appreciated if you click the like button, as it helps our video do better in YouTube's algorithm. Also, if you have any feedback, let us know down below and let us know what other videos you want to see. Who do you personally think will get the 8th seed in the West?